Hey, what's up guys? This past week, an announcement came out. Let me read it to you here. Worlds 2016, beginning June 1st. IBJJF is pleased to support integrity in competition and to announce it has contracted with the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency to provide an anti-doping program during the IBJJF World Championships, the event in parentheses. To be held at Cal State, blah blah blah. And USADA, that's the testing place, is the independent national anti-doping organization for the United States and runs the U.S. anti-doping program for the Olympic, Paralympic, Pan American, blah 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 movements. In accordance with the World Anti-Doping Agency, IBJJF has contracted with USADA to demonstrate a commitment to fair, drug-free, and safe competition. Doping of any kind is against the rules of this event and will not be tolerated. Any violation of this anti-doping rules may result in disqualification and loss of results achieved during the event, in addition to any consequences that may arise in accordance with USADA's rules under the WADA code. So, I'm here to tell you why this testing for PEDs unfortunately won't matter at all. And I'll just kind of back up a little bit. First off, I think people focus too much on the strength gains that steroids, PEDs give you. And when in fact the steroids' greatest benefit isn't actually strength. Although it does help, even though there's some, I don't know, jiu-jitsu purists, I guess, that think that strength just has no bearing in the sport, like it's the only sport ever invented in the history of the world that strength has no, just doesn't influence the outcome whatsoever. But that's a different story, and it's something I think I've already addressed in one of my videos. But the number one benefit of steroids, PEDs, is the ability it gives a person to recover. I'm going to break out the whiteboard for this one. First, let's assume that a person is 100% natural, okay? When I say natural, just none of the things that are considered illegal, PEDs, steroids, you know, nothing like that, okay? And what I've seen in my life, training with a variety of different athletes, is I don't think people can really train beyond, even though the most well-rested, nutritionally on-point folks and people, I don't see how anyone can train more than 3 hours per day. And when I say 3 hours, I mean like just real hardcore working out. Obviously things like working on technique, you know, maybe are not as burdensome on the body. So I'm not including that. I'm talking about, let's say, 3 hours of straight up just rolling, okay? So that is, I mean, it would take a heavy toll on one person's body. I don't think in anything I've seen, whether it be bodybuilding for weightlifting, football, and any examples. I have a friend who's a powerlifter. I've never seen anyone be able to go beyond 3 hours when they're natural. Okay, so let's make that assumption here. Okay, just for the sake of arguments here. All right. So onto the whiteboard. Don't look down below. Just the top word. Hopefully you can read it. If not, I'm going to read it out loud. So up here we have Mr. Natural. Okay. Say you're training for the Worlds, and this is, you know, you have a lot of free time, and you're able to do this. You know, to do this kind of workout. This is a lot. And again, every hour I indicate here is just like, and I mean rolling. Okay. So here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday, you roll 3 hours total. Tuesday 3, Wednesday 1.5 hours, Thursday 3, Friday 3, Saturday 1.5, and hell, that's a lot of rolling in a week, right? A ton. You're going to be exhausted. Let's face it. You're going to need a full rest day to recover, and this is assuming you're getting a lot of sleep, okay, as well. To be able to recover from this, let's say if you're one of the fortunate few that actually make their living in jiu-jitsu and probably be able to commit to this type of routine, because let's face it, all these hours, you know, if you're able to roll for 3 hours, there's other things you have to work on as well. It's like technique and everything. So there's probably many more hours in the gym total than we see here. Okay, so anyways, Just rolling hours. What we have per week, all of this, which is quite a bit, this adds up to 15 hours per week of rolling, okay? Just 15. In a month's time, obviously, that equates to 60 hours per month. Since we're talking the world begins on June the 1st, and if you started training for this, let's just say January 1st, okay? What this amounts to is 300 total hours of rolling between January 1st and June 1st, okay? So that's quite a bit, man. That's a hell of a commitment, and if you can do that, that is amazing. So let's go now to the folks on gear. That means PEDs and steroids. I know it's kind of a common term in the bodybuilding world. I'm not so sure it's caught up yet in BJJ. So on gear means you're not natural. You're taking substances that are banned. Okay. Again, we have the same thing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And as I mentioned, there's unquestionable how PEDs can help affect you recover, even if you're not taking steroids or anything for strength at all. If you can just take steroids, say just for recovery, this is what you're going against. Say if you're the natural competitor, let me show you what you're going to be going against if you deal with someone who decides not to be natural. Monday, 5 hours of rolling. Tuesday, 5. Wednesday, cut it back a little bit, 3. That's your big day of 3 hours. This is this guy's lax day, okay? Thursday, 5. Friday, 5. Saturday, got to dial it back down again, 3. And then Sunday, it's your rest day, but this guy is getting in another 1.5 hours because, you know what? Because the steroids that he's on enable him to be able to do this, and he's recovered from all of these. Okay? Let's talk about what this breaks down to. This equals 27 hours per week of straight up rolling, okay? Now, what you have to keep in mind, this is when, this is how much more experience this person is going to have than you, and how much more time are they going to be able to use their technique in real world situations when they're getting in this live rolling, okay? Keep that in, that's the most important thing to keep in mind, okay? So what this equates to also, for the first 4 months, let's say January 1st through the end of April, this person is getting in 108 hours per month for the first 4 months, okay? You as a natural, what did I say, 60? So 60 to 108, okay, in a month's time. So the person's going to have to piss clean or have his blood taken clean for Worlds on June the 1st. So that last month, this person's going to come off all the gear, and they're going to drop down to what's really humanly possible as a natural, as we talked about with you here. So we're talking 60 hours per month of rolling. So this person at the end of those, as there's been this prep work, is getting in a total of 492 hours of rolling, okay? You as a natural only got in 300, all right? And let's just even assume at the end of all this that this person, after that month off of taking steroids, of his cycles, his strength came all the way back down to normal. Just kaboom, just gone, right? It's just like it never happened. It doesn't really, yeah, okay, so now you're on an equal footing as far as strength. But the problem is, this person still, you can't erase all the extra time he's had training and be able to work on his technique in real world situation of rolling. You can't erase that. The extra 192 more hours this person put in prep work in the 5 months for the Worlds. That cannot be erased, all right? But the sad thing is, this guy is going to, on June the 1st, when he has blood drawn or takes his piss, he's going to piss clean just like you. But because of what he was taking, he was able to, for the first 4 months, this guy was able to get in much more training than you. Assuming you're the same belt, same rank in that belt, same body, same size. When you guys weigh in, I'm putting my money on this guy. He's probably going to kick your dick in the dirt. I first truly saw how well steroids actually helped people, unfortunately, when I was 19, and two of my friends that I trained with started using. And I remember it was over the summer, and you know, we all lifted weights and everything, wanted to get big, and so I used to train with them, and man, when they started using, the amount that they trained went through the roof. And because we all worked out together, I tried to stick with them, and it became just an impossible task. I mean, early in the week it was actually no problem, right? I was fresh, I had that good night's sleep and so forth. You know, so now I got a lot of sleep over the weekend, and you know, came in on Monday totally refreshed. You know, worked out for them, literally weights hard for 3 hours, and I'm talking the big lifts too, doing things like, you know, squats, deadlifts, cleans, those type things. Really wanting the exercise that really work the full body, and also pushing a massive amount of weight. And this, so typically, obviously on Monday I was okay, I could hang with them. Tuesday, I still felt I was sort of okay. Wednesday, man, they were on their own. I couldn't stay with them. They were done. I just had to go back to my old methods of lifting, and it was just, you know, there's nothing. It was like dealing. I remember back in the time, probably because one of the Terminator movies came out. I just felt like I was trying to work out with the Terminators, you know. It's just because they just kept on going and going, or coming and coming, just you know, kept on bringing it. And there's nothing I could do to stay with them. There's nothing to stop them. It just seemed like their energy and strength in the gym was endless. But the thing is, I mean, I saw the scary is how well they recovered. You know, I'd be sitting here bitching, oh my God, my legs are killing me. You know, I couldn't even move. You know, I mean, getting out of my chair was painful, and you know, those guys were hitting legs, you know, the very next day again. So the recover is even so much more important than the actual numbers that they put up in those different lifts. Another myth that I do want to end is, from what I've seen in my life, is people like to say, oh, steroid users like to take the easy way out. They're just looking for a shortcut. That actually is not the case either. Most steroid users actually probably work harder than the people who are natural, and the reason being is those things aren't cheap. Okay, PEDs, steroids, that we're talking major coin every month. The cycles cost quite a bit of money. It'd probably be astonishing if you guys knew what it was, how much they were, what I saw people do to be able to afford the habit of being on gear. It's pretty frightening. At least to me. I guess, hey, if they, whatever, they're cool with it, right? Yeah, to each their own. But they have a lot of money invested in taking steroids, and if you have a lot of money in something, you're going to really pay attention to it and work hard at it. Okay, so it's like, shit, if I'm spending all these thousands of dollars, you know, thousands, literally thousands of dollars on a cycle, I'm going to get the best results I possibly can for it. So they don't just go to the gym half the time that you and I as naturals would do. They go as much as their body allows them to. They're going to get the most value out of it as they possibly can. One thing I want to be clear about, guys, is I am definitely not condoning steroids whatsoever. Okay, I've never taken them in my life, or any type of PEDs. 100% truly mean that. Okay, it's just never been an option. Probably because a lot of it I'm definitely afraid of needles. All right, but it's never been an option for me. I never felt the need to. Nothing ever felt that important to me to take them. But the thing is, I just want to call out bullshit when I see it, and when I see things that are, in fact, theater with the IBJJF is definitely, this is, in my mind, definitely an act of theater. Nothing's going to be accomplished here. I doubt anyone's even going to get caught. I mean, if they get caught, again, they're just dumb, or they've just been misled by the person they purchased the gear from. Okay, that's all it is. They're just, essentially what they're doing, they're just contracting with whatever is that, USADA, what is that what they were? Just to, I guess, give a perception that they do have integrity and are testing. But the fact is, I mean, the only way possible to make sure the sport is clean, or actually, no, not even that, just to have a chance that the sport is clean, is to have year-round, random, unannounced testing for PEDs. And that is the only way you even have a chance at making sure the sport is clean, okay? But I don't even know how realistic that would be. I mean, jiu-jitsu is not like, say, the NFL, where pretty much all the players are located within the United States, all in one place. I mean, people are all over the world, okay? So they do have year-round testing, I know, with NFL, where, it's been, I think it's in the players, the players' agreements in their contracts, where, literally they get contacted in the off season by, the NFL, say, hey, you need to report to this doctor by this time at blah 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 blah, and get tested, and they have to do so, or else they're going to get suspended if they don't. So, but I mean, let's face it, there's people all around the world here, and that does not seem like a possibility whatsoever to be able to coordinate. So it just seems, it's just nonsense. I understand that they do want to keep the sport clean, and I think they're sincere about that. But it's just not a reality, and just to see, I guess, them wasting money, I guess, doing this, when I'd rather see it go into the competitors' pockets, people, the winners, and that's where it should be going. To see it going elsewhere for something that's just not going to help whatsoever, keep the sport clean, it just seems nonsensical to me. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching as always, and as always, please, if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please hit that like button that you see. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Os.